Never ignore this. Negative people are everywhere. They show up in your workplace, in your family, even in your closest circles. And if you let them, they will poison your mind. They will drain your energy, steal your peace, and control your emotions without ever touching you. But what if I told you there is a way to silence them? Not by shouting louder, not by fighting, but by standing so strong in your stoic presence that their words become powerless. Imagine becoming so unshakable that no insult, no gossip, no attack could disturb your inner fortress. That is exactly what the Stoics mastered. And here's the hidden truth. Negative people are not just an annoyance, they are a test. They test whether you truly command yourself or whether you hand over your peace at the first sign of insult. Every reaction you give them is a gift of your power. Every time you stay calm, you win a battle they can never understand. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, faced betrayal, constant criticism, and endless whispers against his rule. Yet he wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside, and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you." Marcus did not silence his critics by answering them. He silenced them by making their opinions irrelevant. Now pause and ask yourself, how often do you give away your peace to someone who doesn't even deserve your attention? How many times have you carried someone else's negativity in your mind like a burden that was never yours to bear? The first step to silencing negative people with Stoicism is this: stop trying to win arguments. Negative people thrive on conflict. They want your reaction, because your reaction proves they've entered your mind. The Stoic denies them that victory. He doesn't engage in every fight. He chooses his battles, and most of the time, the greatest battle is no battle at all. Picture this: you walk into a room and someone mocks you. You could fire back, defend yourself, or let anger rise. But imagine instead you stand calm, your eyes steady, your voice controlled, your silence louder than any insult. That silence is power. The room feels it, and the critic feels small, because nothing they said could move you. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Negative people only wound you if you let their words echo inside your head. Without your consent, their weapons are blunt. But here's the secret. Nobody tells you. Silence is not weakness. It is a shield that reflects their poison back to them. The more you practice this, the less negativity can touch you. Now, let's go deeper. Why do negative people attack in the first place? Because they are full of what the Stoics called passions, uncontrolled emotions like envy, anger, fear. They project their misery outward. When they see your strength, it reminds them of their weakness, and so they try to drag you down. But here's where the Stoic sees clearly. Their attacks are not about you. They are about the storms raging inside them. Think about Epictetus, born a slave, mocked and beaten. Yet he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When people insulted him, he understood that their insults revealed their own weakness, not his. This perspective transforms everything. Imagine you're criticized unfairly at work. Instead of being crushed, you think, "This reveals more about them than me. Their bitterness, their jealousy, their weakness. It belongs to them." Suddenly, the weight lifts. You don't carry their poison. You walk away lighter. But here's the cliffhanger. Every time you react with anger, you are secretly admitting they've won. They've pulled you into their storm. Silence, however, is a declaration that their storm cannot enter your fortress. Now let's make it practical. The Stoics practiced negative visualization. They prepared their minds daily by imagining the worst: insults, betrayal, rejection, so that when negativity arrived, they were not shocked, but ready. Imagine waking each morning and saying, Today, someone will try to criticize me, someone will try to anger me, someone will speak ill of me. But none of it will disturb my mind. That preparation makes you immune. Marcus Aurelius began his day this way. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. He expected negativity, so it never surprised him. He walked through criticism like a man walking through rain, untouched in spirit. And here's the transformation. When you start expecting negativity, you stop being shocked by it. Instead, you see it as proof of your training. Each insult becomes an opportunity to practice Stoic silence. Each critic becomes your sparring partner in the gym of resilience. But silence alone is not enough. Stoicism teaches that the way you carry yourself speaks louder than your words. Posture, tone, presence. These are weapons. Imagine being criticized but standing tall, your breathing steady, your gaze calm. That composure alone silences negativity more powerfully than shouting ever could. Seneca told us, "He who is brave is free." And freedom begins when you are no longer chained by what others say. True bravery is walking through life immune to the gossip, the whispers, the insults, because your fortress is within. Now let me ask you, do you want to be the person who reacts to every critic, or the one whose silence makes critics look foolish? Do you want to live tossed around by every insult, or to stand unshakable like a mountain in a storm? Here's the hidden truth. Negative people only win when you play their game. Refuse to play, and they have already lost. Here's the second hidden strategy the Stoics use to silence negativity. Turn insults into mirrors. Negative people love to project their weaknesses. When they insult you, they are really revealing what dominates their own mind. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He said, "Whenever you are offended at someone's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." What looks like an attack is often a confession. Think about it. The person who calls you lazy is often struggling with their own discipline. The one who mocks your courage is usually ruled by fear. The gossip who spreads rumors is often drowning in insecurity. When you learn to see insults not as daggers, but as mirrors, their power over you dissolves. Now imagine this in practice. A coworker calls you incompetent in front of others. The old you would argue, defend, or stew in anger. But the Stoic version of you stays silent, almost amused. Because you recognize their insult is not about your skill, but their fear of being exposed themselves. By seeing the mirror, you remove the sting. Their attack crumbles into noise. But here's the cliffhanger. If insults are mirrors, then every critic is secretly your teacher. They reveal where humans are weak, where egos scream, where fear hides. Each time you're insulted, you gain insight, not about yourself, but about human nature. That knowledge makes you untouchable. The third Stoic strategy, make indifference your weapon. Epictetus taught, when someone is properly grounded in life, they will not take the approval or disapproval of others as the guiding principle. Most people live enslaved to opinions. A single insult ruins their mood. A single compliment defines their worth. They hand the keys to their happiness to everyone around them. The Stoic refuses this slavery. He is indifferent to both praise and blame. That doesn't mean he is arrogant. It means he knows his worth is not decided by the crowd. Imagine standing in front of thousands, some cheering, some booing. Most would crumble under the noise. But the Stoic remains unmoved, because neither cheer nor boo can change the truth of who he is. His compass is internal, not external. Here's the transformation. When you stop craving praise, insults lose all power. If your peace does not rise with compliments, it will not fall with criticism. You become steady, like a fortress unmoved by storms. Now think about your own life. How much energy do you waste reacting to others? One rude comment can haunt your entire day. But what if you became indifferent? What if their words rolled off you like rain off stone? You would walk lighter, freer, stronger. And here's what nobody tells you. Indifference is not apathy, it is ultimate focus. By ignoring what doesn't matter, you free your energy to master what does. The fourth Stoic strategy to silence negativity is this: build an inner fortress. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the world outside is chaos, but inside he could construct a citadel no enemy could breach. He wrote, "People look for retreats for themselves, in the country, by the sea, or in the mountains. But it is possible for you to retreat into yourself at any hour. Nowhere can a man find a retreat more quiet or more full of peace than in his own soul." What does this mean for you? It means you carry the greatest fortress wherever you go. Negative people may scream, insult, or plot, but they can never enter unless you open the gates. Their words only pierce if you allow them inside. Picture it. Every insult bounces off stone walls. Every criticism dissolves before it touches your core. Your fortress is not silence alone, but self-command, built brick by brick with daily practice. Each brick is a Stoic discipline: clarity, courage, temperance, and justice. And here's the twist: your fortress is strongest when it is quiet inside. If you spend your energy reacting, defending, and raging, your fortress crumbles. But when you stay calm, when your silence is heavy and deliberate, the walls rise higher. Negative people exhaust themselves against your unshakable peace until their weapons are nothing but echoes fading in the wind. The fifth Stoic strategy: train with negative visualization. This practice may shock you, but it was at the heart of Stoicism. Seneca advised, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." The Stoics deliberately imagined worst-case scenarios: insults, betrayal, humiliation, so they would never be caught off guard. Most people collapse under criticism because they never prepared for it. They expect the world to applaud them, so when it doesn't, they crumble. But the Stoic wakes each morning saying, "Today I will be criticized. Today I will be mocked. Today someone will misunderstand me." And because he expects it, he is untouchable when it arrives. Think about it. If you rehearse insults in your mind, when the real insult comes, it feels weak compared to your preparation. If you've already imagined betrayal, the sting of actual betrayal feels lighter. By practicing adversity, you shrink its power. Now, bring this to modern life. Tomorrow, you may face a boss who criticizes unfairly, a family member who mocks your choices, or strangers online who spit negativity. If you start the day expecting it, you won't be surprised. You'll be ready. And readiness is silence's sharpest weapon. Here's the cliffhanger. Negative visualization doesn't make you pessimistic. It makes you free. Because nothing can shock the person who has already faced it in the mind. The sixth Stoic strategy is this: reframe every insult until it loses its sting. An insult is not a fact. It is an interpretation, and interpretation is always under your control. Epictetus taught, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." This is the ultimate shield. When someone calls you weak, you can choose to hear it as motivation, proof that you are training strength while they sit idle. When they call you arrogant, you can choose to hear it as confidence that they lack. When they mock your dreams, you can see it as fear that your courage reminds them of their stagnation. The Stoic does not deny the insult. He transforms it. Like an alchemist, he turns poison into medicine. And here's the truth nobody tells you. Once you master reframing, nobody can insult you again, because you will always find a way to turn their words into fuel. Picture it. Someone tells you, "You'll never succeed." The old version of you collapses, doubting yourself. The Stoic version of you hears, "You are walking a path I was too afraid to walk." And suddenly the insult becomes encouragement. This is not delusion. It is command of perspective. And perspective is the battlefield where all negativity lives or dies. The seventh Stoic strategy: live above judgment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. The deepest slavery is dependence on what others think. Negative people lose all their power the moment you stop needing their approval. Imagine living so free that the cheers or the boos of the crowd sound the same to you. Imagine being immune not only to criticism, but also to praise, because both are chains if you let them define you. Living above judgment means measuring yourself not by their voices, but by your own principles. Were you wise? Were you courageous? Were you just? Were you disciplined? If yes, then no insult can touch you, because your judge is within, and he cannot be bribed or fooled. Here's the hidden secret. When you live above judgment, negative people give up. They see their words don't land. They see their weapons shatter against your calm. And slowly, their voices fade, because nothing frustrates negativity more than indifference. If these Stoic strategies resonate with you, imagine how much stronger you will become when you practice them daily. Every insult becomes training. Every critic becomes your teacher. Every attack becomes proof of your unshakable peace. So why walk this path alone? Join us, subscribe, and together we will master the ancient wisdom that silences negativity, strengthens the soul, and leads to freedom. If you've stayed until now, you've already proven your hunger for wisdom. Like this video, and let's continue walking side by side. 7 strategies, 7 shields of silence. Expect negativity, and it cannot surprise you. Reframe insults, and they cannot sting you. Build your fortress, and nothing can breach it. Train with visualization, and nothing shocks you. Live above judgment, and nothing defines you but yourself. This is how you silence negative people, not by arguing, not by shouting, but by standing so firm, so calm, so untouchable that their voices collapse into echoes. And now I leave you with one question. Whose voice will you stop giving power to today? Think carefully, because your answer will determine how free you really are. The next lesson may surprise you even more, so stay ready.